This is the Snack Challenge podcast. We talk with the founders of some of the most exciting UK food and drink startups. Today we are talking all things plantain with Stef Pellegrino of Purely Plantain, and we're going to be hearing about how her adventures in the international world of produce led to her bringing the humble plantain chip to the shores of Great Britain. Let's get to it.
Nom, 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 nom.
Hi, good morning. My name is Rich and we're Consumer Hub. We tell your story right to the best people in marketing, innovation and sales. This is the Snack Challenge podcast where we interview and talk with some of the most exciting UK food and drink startups. Today we've got Stef Pellegrino on the show. She's from Purely Plantain and she's the founder. Hi, Stef. Thanks for coming on. It's great to have you with us.
So Thanks, guys, for having me here.
And you're in Italy today, aren't you?
I am. I'm in my homeland in Italy, in the south of Italy, in a very warm region, yeah.
Lovely. And Stef and I have just been talking, and it sounds like Italy's a bit warmer than Yorkshire at the moment. So I'm looking outside, I can see cloud and rain. But is it pretty hot where you are already?
Yeah. I mean, there's an average of really 35 to 40 degrees in summer, so it's very, very hot.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have beach, we have places to go, so it's a very nice place to spend summer holidays.
Yeah. Oh, good. So do you you're a runner as well, are you? So you're having to run on an evening when it's cool, or do you get up early?
I prefer running earlier in the morning. Absolutely, yeah. I think I'm trying to keep my routine as much as I can, but it is starting to become very. I've arrived very motivated, but after a few weeks, I started to lose it because it's just the way it goes. But sometimes some rest is not, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm managing to stick to my routine at the moment, which is currently cycling in the rain on a Tuesday evening. So, but no, you've got to keep fit, stay on the game, haven't you? In food and drinks, busy. So I just wanted to get into some questions on you and your story, Stef. So, what is your story like? Where did your career start, and how did you end up doing Purely Plantain? Tell us about it.
Yeah, sure. So, well, as I already said, I'm Italian. So I've arrived in the UK through a European project after university. So I've studied languages and international business, and I just wanted to have a bit of, experience abroad. I wanted to improve my English skills then because Spanish has always been my best, language. So I was much more comfortable to speak Spanish rather than English. So I've started an internship in a company in Wales, which gave me a lot of really a bit of an understanding how the whole marketing department of our company worked then, because it was my first experience. And from there, I was offered a job in Birmingham, where it's an import-export company still ongoing, which the main objective was to really export fresh fruit from South American countries.
Cool.
So our main product line was bananas from Ecuador, Colombia, and a lot of other Latin American countries, but with these two really to be the main one. And of course, with language skills and a bit of an international team that Banabay, the company, had at that time, it was a really nice fit for me. I was very excited. Traveling has always been my passion. So I found a space in these to really, use both my language skills, to do what I like, and at the same time to learn really, how to work in this type of environment. So I met Mark, the co-founder of the business. Mark, during one of these trips in Ecuador, we tried plantain chips, which it was not the first time we really, tried them a few times, and it started to become a really, a bit of a routine for us to have a night after a long day in a banana plantation, talking to producers, and the best thing come out of just conversation and ideas. So with Mark, we decided to open a new business then. I got a major support from him, especially, the first year or so, where really Mark has been present, not only financially, so being an investor for the business then, but also to give me, the right knowledge of how to set up a business, because I've never done this before. So it all started from there, from a plantation in South America, with the idea of really proposing something, of course, that's always been there, because we didn't invent plantain in any way. But just I'd say reproposing these under a different light, and try to make plantains known to everyone, not just particular groups that culturally have always been eating plantains because of their traditions and habits. So that was the initial idea of Purely. It took a while to get to the right combination of the product. We spent almost the first 12 months in product development, in really strengthening that relationship with the supplier as well. It's not easy to build a strong business relationship when you are so far apart as well. But I think we've been very good to build that over the years, really.
And your product is unique, isn't it? Because you work directly at source in Ecuador, don't you? And you manufacture there.
Yeah, correct. That has always been really the main aim of Purely as well. There's always been really an idea to support local farmers as well. We know very well, being in the banana business for so many years, we know exactly how important that's always been, for us to support local farmers, to give, business back to the country as well. So we only work, with one source. We have a team over there that I speak daily, really, with them. Making sure we have plans on production. We know exactly the whole team that's producing the product. Where are we taking the whole different ingredients? So it's always been, and I think it always will be really something that we will not change in the business, because we want to make sure that source and origins stays in the country where the product really coming from.
That's great. Yeah, supporting the industry there as well, and I guess it's a key export for them. And so your story is really interesting. So you start as a graduate, you do languages, come to UK, you're working in Wales, then you work for a banana business, then over to Ecuador. You're there with a friend. You're just end of a day eating some plantain chips, and you think, do you know what? There's a business here. So was there a light bulb moment then when you were just eating these chips in Ecuador? You thought, yeah, this could work.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, again, it was, me and Mark used to travel quite a lot to those countries, but I think one of these trips, which was not the first one, has been a bit of a decision. It changed a bit the decision that we made, because we thought that this could be a great opportunity, to bring something different into the UK initially, just the UK as a main market. And I remember we were having just a conversation outside one of these offices that we used to, use over there, and say, why don't we do it? And again, I suppose now I would probably overthink, much more. Back then it was, okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
It was just that really idea of doing something new. I'm always been excited by new experience. And I think despite the fact that I loved my job there in Banabay, I knew there was really the next step for me to go as well. So it was a combination, I think, of having a great idea, but at the same time, I wanted to make a next step for myself as well. I wanted to see what else, could be there. So I think a combination of both, and we came back really and just opened, a new business. I remember we didn't even know what name to put on there.
Right.
Because we just, made the decision very, very quick.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. Yeah, it's great. So the product itself, I've read a little bit about the company and plantain. I've never tried plantain chips, and I'm very excited about trying the product, which we'll do later. But what makes a plantain chip unique? Because they're obviously high in minerals, aren't they? They've got more fibre than a normal banana. What is it about the product that you think connects with a modern consumer that wants a healthy snack?
Sure, I think there's a lot happening in the whole snacking industry. I think at the moment there's really a space, for so many different products. For the aim of Purely has always been and I say really defining ourselves not to be, just unhealthier options, because I, starting from my experience, and I love eating healthy. I love, making sure I'm eating the right stuff, but I've never been really, happy to give up on taste. So for me, the aim was offering something that is slightly better for you than having a normal bag of potato crisps,
Yeah.
but at the same time not losing in taste and in nutritional facts. So if you think about plantains, it's still a very rich, snack. If you compare, comes from the banana family, but at the same time, plantains gives you, the right amount of potassium, fibers, vitamins, and minerals, as you said, that you need on a daily basis. So if you compare that to a normal bag of potato crisps, in terms of nutritional facts that you're actually taking when you are snacking, the difference is quite substantial. So the aim has always been, offering something that, of course, is good for you. We try to change quite a lot the specification as well of the product. So one of the main decision that we made is not to use any palm oil.
Yeah,
so we completely
right.
switched, of course, to sunflower oil, which makes the product, of course, again, better for you. But again, not only for us, but also from an environment point of view. And of course, that plays the product, to be a bit more expensive as well. But again, the aim was offering something that balanced all these aspects. And I think we managed, to do it quite well. If you look now into, supermarket shelves, but also many other shops, I think there's really a choice for different types of products. It seems to be like, a corn, bit of trend, chickpeas. So there's really different products that are kind of getting a good space in the market. So I thought, why can we not do this with plantains? Have been there for ages. Why don't we try?
Love that. Yeah. And I think it's a good point you raise about people wanting more choice but not wanting to compromise on flavour. We, in the office, one of our favourite brands is Hippies, and those chickpea puffs are great, and they are much better than a big bag of crisps. Don't get me wrong, I like potato chips as well, but it's the variety, isn't it? And a lot of us, I think, now have, what we don't just want the same thing all the time. We want a variety, don't we?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's all about finding something that, again, find the balance for you. I love Hippies as well. And again, I do like crisps as well, but if I have to make a choice, I prefer making a choice that is better for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So tell me a bit about the name then, Purely Plantain. So how did you come up with the brand concept? How did you come up with the name? And what is the brand concept all about? What's it communicating to the consumer and the shopper?
Sure. So again, we spent probably 6 to 8 months to actually get to the final combination of all these elements.
Wow.
A lot of ideas at the beginning, and what we did, I worked with a few people that helped me really and advised me at the beginning to really, I think, get 3 different propositions for the brand, and we always wanted to be a choice, not just our choice, but a choice also of consumers that were going to buy our product. So we involved the audience since the very beginning, from doing focus group with the actual products and comparing these to all the other plantain chips in the market, to actually send an online survey as well with the 3 different propositions on what the current Purely would be. So there were other brand names as well in there. And we gave people, we sent an online survey to about 1,000 people in our target audience. And and we asked them really to combine elements of the packaging, as well as, different other number of questions now that I don't really remember in details, but, it was really to obtain a final idea of what people wanted to see. And it was a very, very, extremely interesting experiment, because as a result of this online survey, we actually saw Purely there. We knew people wanted to really see a space for a slightly premium snack in this category with this product. But at the same time, I think the very clean looking of the packaging at the beginning, it really stand out a bit in a different way. We wanted to be, there's nothing that you don't know about Purely when you look at the packaging, in the sense that we only use 3 ingredients into each, into each pack. We have plantains, we have sunflower oil, they're just natural spices. So Purely was just meant to be something very simple, very tasty, without too many additives or too much behind the brand. And we wanted to keep, the brand quite open as well, because of course plantain chips as is the first product in the range at the moment. We are planning to add more products in the future. So the idea is really to keep Purely as the umbrella brand, and all the different products under it. But yeah, Purely just simple, Purely just what it is. And that's, I think, that's what we're trying to say to people.
So very much a case of what you see is what you get. There's no hidden nasties here. It's purely plantain. Love it. So I'm going to do a bit of a shameless plug for you, because I've been reading about the success that you guys have had, and it's been phenomenal. So there was an article I found, I think it was in a trade industry release for the bakery sector, and it was saying that you were turning over 86k last year, 2019, and then so far you're on track to hit 1.2 million 2020. So you've had like a record growth. Is that right? Did I get that right? Or
yeah, I mean, that was really the plan. Is still the plan for this year. Of course, the pandemic has impacted the production a bit the last few months, but we're still working towards that objective. So there's definitely a growth there, but we're trying just to keep making sure that the objectives are achieved monthly as well.
Good. And you guys look like you've been very active online, and doubling down on getting direct to the consumer in lockdown. Just tell me a little bit about how you found the COVID crisis, because I mean, what a thing to have to deal with in your first few years of trading as a company.
Yeah, I mean, the COVID, as many other businesses, I suppose, has impacted Purely as well. We started, the change, the first really month has been very positive in terms that we suddenly started to get a lot of orders, not only from a distribution point of view, but especially online. Now, we never been overly present online, but not because of the choice, simply because the team has always been very small, with me mainly doing a bit of everything, and I have an operational person full time. But we never really put too much time to work on the online channel before the pandemic. But we started to really see a sudden increase of the demand online. And of course, when you plan stock in relation to your sales, we kind of were a bit, the demand was actually higher than the stock that we had at that time that we were producing. And of course, the pandemic has impacted Ecuador as well. For a number of weeks. So we took the decision that, we had to, for a moment at least, we had to stop production, because we wanted to make sure people over there were safe. There was really the right safe plan as well for them to come back to work. So, we started in a really positive way with a high demand. We had to stop production for a few weeks because we wanted to have a strong plan in Ecuador of safety, for people to go back to work. And again, now we are back on production, everything is back to normal. But I suppose as this whole COVID situation, if on a side, I think it showed us new opportunities, on the other one, I think has given me so much time to look at the business in a different way, much more strategically. We, as you mentioned earlier, we did close in our first investment round as well. So that has been, a major really achievement for the business, because I wanted to get to this point, since a long time, when he's trying to raise investment, and the fact that it came in this time of uncertainty as well has given me so much more confidence about Purely, really, because I know now we have the right team in place to grow even more and to go even farther.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Pressure often it tests you, doesn't it? But when you come out of it, you think, yeah, actually, we've passed that test together. We know we can make this work, and it's exciting. So you guys have got investment from it's Westlab, isn't it? The Epsom salts guys.
Yeah.
What a great
Scott,
business.
yeah, it's been a great. I mean, I've been in conversation with Scott for for a number of months. Scott has always had a really an interest in the business, an interest to work with us as a team, and I think it was probably the right time. I like saying that conversation always happen, at the right time. I really wanted to get Scott involved in the business, and I'm so glad we got to that point. But it's exciting. It's exciting because you get a team with so much experience in building consumers brand. Westlab is huge, and just the idea of getting so much help and knowledge and support from these people, it just changed the way you look at the business, and you've been looking at the business, and the future plans, because it just gives you so much more confidence in working, in doing everything on a daily basis.
Great. No, that's exciting. So something that our listeners often comment in is they're always really interested in the advice that you can give as an entrepreneur. And if there's somebody listening to this podcast, they're an aspiring entrepreneur, maybe they're where you were 2-3 years ago, they're on a business trip, they're thinking, oh, actually there's a product here that I'd like to take to the UK. Like what would your advice be to someone they're not even started the business yet, it's just an idea? Like what was the advice that you wish you'd had at the time?
I'd say I think I was lucky enough to have a lot of people around me that, of course, advised me, to make the right steps, because I suppose I would have never probably, taken completely the risk on my own. So I'd say there is the key is a good balance of everything. You gotta make sure that you create a group of people around you that advise. I think that's a key before making any decision, and as you say, starting a business could be a decision that you make in one day, but getting to the point of doing it in the right way, it takes time. So I'd say definitely having a group, understanding who are those people that you need around. You need many people, but you need a key, a group of people around that support you to get to that initial idea. And I say, again, there's something that I always say now that I wish, to be honest, I think I always had, but I've done a bit of, a personal journey and growth over the last 2 years. I think keeping that authenticity there all the time is a key point for me. I would never give up on that, and I'm not, Purely is this is me, and I'm not. I would never, exchange that for anything else, because I think keeping that authenticity and transparency and really, making people know for who you are, who the brand is, and I think it's a key point, because if you look, at how, people want to see that, consumer want to see the real authenticity, and I'm very honest and transparent person. I never like to to hide too much about anything. We are what we are. We are not a big brand. We are, there's been a lot of high and low points, and so I'd say that, and ask for help. I probably wished I would have done that a bit more. Then I had the people around me, but when you're given a lot of other opportunities in to meet other people, to ask for more help. So perhaps I would have done that a little bit more, because when you get into this level, you want to do everything, and not in a selfish way, but you think
passionate.
Very passionate. You think, I can do this, I don't need, or it's better for me to do it. But actually, that's not the way. I've especially with investment coming in now, and with the idea of growing the team, I would never be where I am without the people, without my team, without the people I have around, without all this support. So ask for help, and you don't know what you actually can get. That's another thing I'd advise to entrepreneurs.
Okay. No, so I guess if I was to summarise then, find the right people, surround yourself with good people, stay authentic to your mission and to yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Put your hand up and draw on all that experience. It's interesting. That's a theme actually. A lot of the entrepreneurs we speak to is they all sort of say that networking is just key. There's so much talent in the food and drink sector, and obviously you know Ian Hills as well. He's a great guy, and there's a lot of guys, aren't there? Once you get in under the skin of the community, there's lots of people that have got like their own sort of, I guess, toolbox, in terms of what they can bring to the party. So you touched there on highs and lows. So what would you say has been the biggest high for Purely, and what's been the biggest low?
Well, I'll say many, many lows. It's hard to find just one. As many achievements. I'm very, very honest. I think, especially, actually, I don't know if it does change a lot, but especially, at the beginning, is the lows can be quite a lot. You can't just that there's rejection. There's a lot of rejection in this industry. When you try, for example, to reach sales, and the distribution to reach those buyers. I think rejection is something that you have to deal with. So I've for me in the past, it was I took that probably being negative because I saw that it never stopped me really, but I had to work on it, not to take it personally, but also to understand what was I doing wrong, or what we could do better to kind of get that time with the buyer or just get a sales a listing achievement. So I say lows can be a lot in our way, but also in again financially we had a lot to deal in the past. A lot of business on our side had to deal with a lot of financial pressure as well, because you don't have enough to invest in marketing, in promotion, and that of course has also a consequence in sales. So I say, there were some lows, but never, we never really gave up for any reason. We always trying to find a better way, more expertise to deal with those moments. I'd say probably the biggest achievement so far for me has definitely been investment, because I mean, there have been a lot of good listings as well, don't get me wrong, which I've always been very grateful for. But I think the investment has given me, again, an idea that, I just see a different future for Purely. And if it was just us, I know we could have done well, but it would have not been, exactly where I want to take the business. Yeah. So I say getting these people on board that trust you, that want to invest in you, is such a great feeling, because you see what, 3 years ago we created something, and now actually there is someone that is ready to put money into this idea and wants to
recognized.
I mean, it's pretty amazing, and I'm not a person that actually enjoys moments a lot and achievements a lot, because after an hour I'm already on the next objective. Excellent. But I'd say investment has probably been the biggest one.
Great. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, that's really useful. Look, I want to get straight into trying these products because they've been tempting me all morning. I've gone light on the breakfast because I'm expecting to get a lot of chips. So this is am I right in thinking this is new packaging? Is this quite new, this?
Yeah, that's a new packaging. We only launched it really 3 to 4 weeks ago. Yeah. That was a bit of a result of the investment. Very, very, I mean, we wanted to bring out a new brand identity for Purely since a long time, because we wanted to really communicate a bit more of energy, a bit more of, of an Ecuadorian and exotic look as well.
Yeah. Well, it's really nice. It's very, very bright, and a lot of startups that we have done podcasts with, they evolve their packaging quite a lot in the first few years, and it seems like a lot of people start quite busy and then become more minimalist and hone in on the message, and it seems like you guys are really honed in on your message. It's great. So there's nice and spicy. There is sea salt, and then there's wild garlic as well, which I'm really excited for. Which one do you recommend I try first?
Well, if you want to try them all, I'd say start with the salted, go on the spicy, and then with the garlic, because the garlic is, it needs to be the last one. Yeah, it's quite strong if you love garlic flavor.
That smells really good. So here's the chips, guys. You can see. Try and get the best focus on my camera. There we go. Oh yeah, that's really good. So how
Have
do
you
you?
not tried it before?
No, I've never had plantain chips before. These are really good. They're really indulgent. They're like the texture's like a kind of rough cut potato crisp. That's what it feels like to me. Like a really indulgent, but yeah, it's very very kind of that meaty, really like dense filling, really really good texture. How do you make them then? So are they fried in the oil?
Yeah, they are still, I mean, they're kettle cooked, so in big batches, and we use sunflower oil. So the process is really very simple. There's a peeling of the plantains, and most of this is actually done manually. And there is a slicing machine, and after they're cooked, and they're flavored straight away while the product is hot. And again, after that, they're packed, depending what sizes and bags we are bringing them over. But very very simple process, and the factory is always opening 24/7, of course, but the capacity to actually produce an increased volume is still very very high.
Oh, great! Yeah, they're really really tasty. They're fantastic. So is it out there in Ecuador? Do all the locals make them themselves at home, or do they buy a brand out there? Like, how did you end up trying it?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you are not just in Ecuador, but if you are in many South American countries, let's say, plantains is a very, is a staple. It's like bread for us, probably here in Italy, in terms of having really bread, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was actually quite. When you are over there, you keep eating plantains and bananas all the time. So I was, again, still, the question in my mind was, again, do I need to eat, plantains again? But actually, the different recipes I've tried, and there's so many ways you can have plantain, mashed plantain, fried, plantain soup. So there's so many ways of actually consuming the product, and it's amazing because, again, the taste. You probably would confirm that the taste is very different from a banana, because plantains is actually considered a vegetable, so it belongs to a vegetable type of class. So the main difference is the taste. Plantains goes well with the different flavors and combination, and it's not sweet because we do use a green plantain and not a ripened one. That's the main really difference.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's really I mean, it's a great savoury snack. From my reading, I knew they were savoury, but so it's good. Eating it. It doesn't feel like I'm eating something that's related to a banana. It feels very very distinctive, and this spicy flavour one is fantastic. So I feel like there's quite a lot of paprika in it. What spices have gone into it? It's good.
There is actually a capsicum, which is, a type of pepper. And it's a capsicum variety that comes from Peru. So again,
Cool.
it's all natural. There's no any additive or preservatives. It's just ground capsicum. There is, I think, many people, gave us the feedback that it tastes like paprika, but there's not actually, a paprika flavor added on top of it. So it's just a capsicum variety, the Peruvian capsicum variety in there.
Smashing. Yeah, I love that. It's minimalist and local as well. Keeps it in the bioregion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good. Should go for the wild garlic. Excited for that. So is it wild garlic from South America as well?
Yeah, well, yeah, the garlic flavor is comes from California region. It's imported into Ecuador as well. And again, just no additive or preservatives in there. It just the natural flavor of the garlic added to the chips. The garlic is probably, I'd say, the strongest one out. Of course, of the salty and the spicy. We the reason to keep the garlic as strong again was the results of a focus group, when especially British audience, because at the beginning, of course, the UK market has always been our market of analysis really. wanted to really, taste. Is really keen on strong flavors. So we decided to keep the garlic quite strong, and you can probably feel that.
It's good. I think this is my favourite. I haven't had anything that's wild garlic flavoured before, but I'm a big garlic fan. So
Yeah.
my wife and I, probably our favourite cooking that we do together is Italian. And we've been to Rome a few times, and we love Italy. And we've done the woods near us have got a load of wild garlic in it. So we've gone and picked the wild garlic this summer with our kids and made homemade pesto at home, following this recipe with my wife found on Pinterest, and just love that garlicky flavour. So that's really, really good. Do you what's your favourite flavour, Steph?
My favorite so far is the nice and spicy.
Yeah.
I'm not overly, I do eat garlic, but, out of the three, nice and spicy is definitely the one for me. But there's a number of flavors combination that we're working on as well. And I'd say probably, that is going to be moving to another one very soon. So I know we're working on very exciting recipes at the moment as well. Which, hopefully over the next 6 to 8 months, we're going to be able to launch in the market. So it's very, very exciting, working on all these different product development.
Yeah, and that's really exciting. So listen, guys, if you're watching, okay, there's wild garlic. That's my favourite. There is nice spicy. That's Steph's favourite. And then there's sea salt, which is also super tasty. So make sure you go and buy some samples, guys. You will not be disappointed. Steph, for the viewers, for the listeners, where can they find you online and where can they buy the products from?
Yeah, sure. So online we are available, apart from our website, willowpurely.com, also on Amazon as well as on Ocado as the main three channels to buy the products online. We are also present in different, other e-commerce websites that we are partnering with at the moment. We are also in a number of shops now, of course, with all the shops being back, mainly very present in the London area still, chains like Planet Organic, as Naturally Intended, Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, and Harrods. They're all selling the product at the moment. Plus, we work very closely with independents as well. So we like, making sure that the product can be found anywhere on the independent, type of market. So if you go on our website and you actually put your postcode, the closest independent will come, will come out, the closest one to you. So these are the main channels at the moment. We are working to get our first really listing, supermarket listing. There's a lot of good conversation going on at the moment, but we just want to make sure, we have everything in place and the right first partner aligned for a big launch, because that will be a really big change for the business.
Yeah, very exciting. Do you think you'll ever do a sharing bag format at some point?
Well, the idea is at the moment we have a lot of requests actually for a 30 grams, so even a smaller bag.
Okay.
I suppose there's a lot of happening, into potential vending and food service. Over, if not immediately, over the next 3 to 6 months, when the whole industry is going to be back again.
Right.
So we've always been asked for, a one portion bag as well. It could be a good fit for lunch boxes as well. So that's going to be out hopefully over the next 6 months. So by the end of the year, we're planning to bring out a 30-gram bag. And of course, why not at some point, depending on the market, depending where we are exporting into, probably even a bigger bag would be an option, because UK, I'd say, is working quite well with this bag size, but in many other European markets, the big sharing bag is much more common rather than having a smaller bag. So we're working on different options depending where we are exporting into. Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm asking for a purely selfish reason that I've got 4 kids, so sharing bags is the thing in car journeys. We're just, throwing crisps around. So that would be cool. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for bigger bags. But listen, it's been an absolute joy and a privilege doing this podcast with you. I'm going to put all the details to your social where people can buy stuff online in the postings that we have for this content. And if you're listening, guys, go and check out Steph. Buy some of the Purely Plantain products. You'll love it. But thank you so much, Steph. It's been great.
No, thank you so much to you guys. It's been a real pleasure to be here.
Oh, good. Thank you. Smashing. Right. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks for everything. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Let us know in the comments below if you have any suggestions. Click the link on the left to check out a playlist with similar videos to this series and check out the one on the right to watch our previous upload. Thanks again and see you soon.